Hello, good morning. My name is Francesca. Welcome to my YouTube channel again. Last week I was here. I made a promise that every week I'm going to come here and do a video or two to share my story with you all. My goal or my purpose is to educate and save someone out there who is going through what I went through or who has gone through what I went through as out, just like me. Last week, I did mention that I am a survivor of intimate partner violence, IPV. If you're not quite sure of what that means, I am going to read a very brief definition just so we have an understanding of what it means. Intimate partner violence is a pattern of behaviors, emotional, psychological, physical, sexual, or financial, used by a partner to undermine your safety, your dignity, and your sense of self. It often begins quietly through control, manipulation, or isolation and grows into a cycle that makes you question your worth, your reality, and your voice. I'm going to take this last part again. It often begins quietly through control, manipulation, or isolation and grows into a cycle that makes you question your worth, your reality, and your voice. It often begins quietly in a way that you will not even notice. If you are a survivor out there and you listen to this definition, I am sure it actually resonates. I'm sure it does. Yes, it does. With this definition, it actually mirrors what I went through. It does. That's why I'm here with the purpose of helping someone out there. Just a brief background about myself. Again, my name is Francisca. I got married in 2012, if I'm not mistaken. I was abused. I stayed for 10 years. I was finally able to regain my voice by leaving. So I was able to leave after 10 years. I think 10 years, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I was able to leave after 10 years. Now, let's talk about some of the things that I saw even before entering the marriage. I'm sure most survivors out there listening to this story saw one or two of these signs, ignore, just like I did. What I'm going to say is that it's not like I did not see the signs, or most often we see the signs, we ignore, thinking that we will be able to change it. I don't know about you, but for me, I saw the signs or some of the signs clearly. In my mind at that time, I thought I could change them, or I thought I could change this person. If you're listening to me out there and you're dating someone and that person is maybe talking about marriage, or even if that person is not talking about marriage, you see signs of abuse, please do not continue that relationship, because abuse can rid you of everything. If you're dating someone out there and you see any sign or some of the signs that I'm going to mention, please do not continue with that relationship, or do not think that you can change that person, because it's going to take you your life trying to change somebody, especially somebody who does not want to be changed. I'll give you an example. When I got married to this person, I remember vividly like it was just yesterday. This person told me, before you go to bed every day, tell me your activities for the next day. Where you're going to go, what time, what you'll be doing, and all of that. At that time, I thought it was love. Years later, I discovered that it was not love. Listen to me again. At that time, I felt this person loves me. This person just wants to know my activities of the day and things like that, where I'll be going to. Don't get me wrong, it is not bad to tell your partner where you're going to or what you'll be doing. Then the motive behind it is what I'm talking about. Because I actually started doing that. I was stopped. I was being stopped. There was a day I was actually driving to school in Silver Spring, because I had told this person my activities of the day as usual. I discovered that this person was driving behind me. Mind you, There in Silver Spring, where I saw this person or where I was going to school, that was not where he worked, or he didn't walk around that area, or he was not walking around that area, had no family member around that area, to the best of my knowledge, had nothing to do in that area. However, at that particular time, he was supposed to be at work. He was actually driving behind me. When I made a turn and went into the school garage, this person drove past me. I went back home. I didn't question it. I kept quiet. I didn't say anything. Because I didn't say anything, it didn't stop. If you're listening to me today, I want you to know that silence empowers your abuser. Silence does. It empowers your abuser. If you see anything wrong, do not be silenced. Learn to speak up. Because I have a feeling that I stayed for 10 years because I was silenced. Because I saw some of these things at the beginning of our relationship. I kept quiet. Even while we were married, I kept quiet. Because I kept quiet, this person took advantage over me. I see myself as an enabler because I was quiet. If you're watching this video, do not be silenced. Do not be an enabler. Because when you're silent, you're enabling your abuser. You're giving them control. You're giving them power over your life. Reclaim your voice. If you're an abuser, I need you to think twice. Take a moment, take a step back, and do some self-reflection. To you, my sisters out there listening to me, learn to speak up. Learn to speak up. Do not be an enabler. I was once an enabler. I can tell you now proudly, after 10 years of abuse, I was able to leave. If you're out there listening to me, if you are a survivor, healing is possible. Do not give up. You are not alone. You are powerful. If you are out there and you are a survivor, still struggling to leave, make that move today. I know you have a lot of questions, just like I did at the time when I made that final decision to leave. I had questions in my mind, which I will talk about in my next video. I took that bold step. If you are there asking yourself, how am I going to do this if I leave? It is possible. Reclaim your voice today. Do not be an enabler. Reclaim your voice and start sharing your story, just like I am doing. My next video, I am actually going to talk about why I stayed in an abusive relationship for 10 years. So stay tuned. I'm going to do another video before this week runs to an end to I share why I stayed for 10 years. Thank you so very much for listening. Shalom.